Well, good evening to you. I'm Dylan Radigan. On the Fast Money agenda this Thursday night, a strong, shortened week for the Dow, the stock market, the most predictive mechanism we have, telling us something about the world that economists predicting a recession do not see. We'll explain this mystery market and give you some trades along the way. And then research in motion earnings hitting the street next week. America loves the BlackBerry, but will it love the iPhone even more? Also, it's Thursday, so Herb Greenberg is here to take on the guys. But tonight, we're letting one of you jump in the ring.
Hey, this is Ian in Boulder, Colorado. And Herb, I'm taking you down.
Good luck to Ian. I recall that the negotiator, Guy Adamia, and Herb tussled some weeks ago about a company called Nutri. Here's what Herb had to say about the company at the time.
The hyper-growth days of Nutri are over. And the company, had this bounce back, which just is so puzzling. This is a company that's a victim of its own success. That's less than 10%. That means this company has to constantly keep reinventing itself because, unlike even, say, Weight Watchers, its customers don't come back.
Well, Herb lost that round again. But in the process, he gained an unlikely critic and finds himself with a split vote tonight in the street fight between the Karen and Eric battles, which means that Ian from Boulder, Colorado, an avid Fast Money viewer, an even bigger fan of Nutri and a hater of Herb Greenberg, was incensed by Herb's comments. He demanded a chance to come on TV and go mano-a-mano himself. Ian, we welcome you to the fight. I hope you feel up to the job. Tell us what the problem you have with Herb's comments on Nutri might actually be.
All right, Dylan, thanks for having me on. Herb, Nutri hyper-growth days may be over, but it's already priced into the stock. The stock's trading with an 18 multiple and growing EPS by 32% this year. What are you doing telling people to sell this undervalued growth stock?
Yeah, what are you doing, Herb?
Well, I never told them to sell it, but what I said, if they own it, they might want to think about why they own it, because this is not the company and the growth story, Ian, that people originally bought it for. The company is basically, well, it's not blowing past the numbers. And in a momentum name like that, that's what people want to see. And what I did mention last time, which I think is critical, is the fact that the company's return rate, repeat customers, isn't very high. Look, they're coming out with first quarter numbers. I bet you the numbers are going to be strong because, not necessarily blowout, strong because the company's been out on Wall Street chatting itself up in recent weeks. That said, anything short of a blowout, this company will have seen its stock go up, and it will then, until the next fourth or first quarter, it will be dead money.
What do you say, Ian?
All right, Herb, you've been mentioning over and over that Nutri customers aren't returning. I took a look at some stats, and it looks like the revenue from returning customers is set to grow 130% this year. By the way, Lehman Brothers calls that number overly conservative. I think that leather jacket you like to wear around is looking a little tight. Maybe you should give Nutri a call. They can help you out. And while you're at it, buy the stock.
Well, let me tell you, one other thing you have to keep in mind here is Brand Week actually has an interesting story that the FTC is looking at the way some of these companies, including Nutri are using famous people as spokesmen. That's something that you have to look at going forward because that's been one of the things that draws them in. I'm just mentioning that.
Well, I got a web caller's got you stumbling on your words, Herb. Not to mention he's got you pinned on the leather jacket.
Pinned on the leather jacket.
And he's got the guts to come on TV and call you for the crazy person that you are.
You know what? My guess is that Ian's one of those guys who had great success at Nutri. He's like all the people who go to a restaurant. They like the restaurant, so they buy the restaurant stock, which of course sometimes is the worst thing to do.
Well, Ian, we're not even going to ask you to answer that question. You don't have to. That's none of Herb's business, Ian. You win the street fight. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks as always to Mr. Greenberg for putting up a great fight. And do stick around. Word on the street on Fast Money is coming up next.